now. Give him something to talk about, yeah.
We're just here doing a little breathing as we get ready for the episode. Welcome to Something to Talk About. Now, I know it's not the norm for a host and guest to be barefoot and in casuals, but today it's a whole vibe. Yoga might be the solution you need if you've been stressed, have insomnia, or you're just mentally overwhelmed. The theme of today's show is yoga, get into it, and our guest today, who is owner, instructor of Love Yoga right here in Hyattsville, or next door, should I say, is here to help us do just that. Asia, welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. So I'm excited because my good friend Evelyn, who folks will meet later, she brought me to the studio, and I tell everybody you are the best instructor ever, and I mean that. So I'm excited. Not only are you the instructor, but now the new owner of Love Yoga in Hyattsville. So just wanted to bring you in and have the folks at home get over to the studio and start taking care of their minds and their bodies through yoga. Start us off, and let us know what are some of those invaluable benefits of yoga for the body, and then we'll get into the mind.
Okay. So for the body, yoga can help you to de-stress. There are different types of yoga. So some yoga practices are an active relaxation. Other yoga practices are actually going to help you to find strength, flexibility, increase your stamina, finding power within yourself, and of course, people are always looking to stretch. We tend to be seated very often on our phones, crunched there. Yeah, so to pull those shoulders back and create that space within the chest with those heart opening poses is going to be an opportunity that you'll have in yoga.
I love that. And to your point, there is something for everyone. I know at Love Yoga, there's even like a trap yoga class. There's like
yeah, so we've had hip hop hatha, that's what we call it, and then we also have a soulful yin class. So no matter what it is that you're looking for, we try to offer different types of classes so that there can be something to fit your life, fit your schedule, fit your practice.
A little something for everybody.
Yes.
Now, going into the mental side of it all, because I've been on a major self-love, self-care kick and trying to make that into a habit. I was reading that what happens when a person practices yoga within the mind, the breathing and the meditation piece is actually what triggers the brain to say, hey, it's time to chill out, it's time to slow down. And of course, that has benefits when it comes to your blood pressure, your heart rate, those sorts of things. Give us a little bit more insight to the breathing piece, because I think what happens is, especially when we start yoga, sometimes we're like, okay, this is a little strange, like I'm taking in 4 breaths, breathing out 5s, and everybody's umming. So like the ums and the breathing, just kind of walk us through a little bit of that and its purpose.
Yes, well, there are 8 limbs of yoga, and the breath work that you're talking about is one of them. That's called pranayama, and the breath allows us really to connect with ourselves. So not only is it sending messages to our brain to allow our body to calm down or to relax, but it's also helping us to just connect with the mind. When you start to get into your deep breathing, it can be easier to clear your mind, or it can at least just be easier to be present in your mind, even if it's not clear and there's that mind chatter going on. So the breath work is really powerful. Definitely include breath work in all yoga classes at Love Yoga, and we have some classes that are really geared towards it. So we have a breathe and flow class that is all about connecting the breath with the movement, and I actually begin each class with connecting our movement and breath, because that can help you to center, it can help you to ground yourself. So there is some great benefits to the breath work. I believe it's key.
I love that, and that's one of my favorite parts, because I do feel like that sense of calm. The
Yes. So so there's 3 sounds that you're making, the letters O-U-M, and
Wait, should we give it a little demonstration?
Okay. So we'll take a deep inhale and then exhale for Om.
Perfect. That's what it sounds like. So what's its power?
So Om, it's the universal sound. It's vibrations, and I've heard that Om has in Western culture translated into Amen, and then other people have spoke about the vibrational pull and feel that when they hear the Om or when they're around the Om. So there are vibrations all around us, frequencies, and Om is the universal one one that we all have, we all can connect to.
And it creates a calm also. I know we're going to do some demonstration later, but I want to get into some of like the stigmas of yoga so people can just get past that and get started with the practice. Religion being one. I had a few posts that I put up just like practicing, and some folks were like, aren't you a Christian? And I'm like, that has nothing to do with anything. Like yoga, that personal piece is so far from what religion you are. So when it comes to religion and like diversity, who's in the room, men versus women and people of different colors and cultures, how would you speak to that stigma and help folks understand it's really for everybody?
Yeah. So yoga is not a religion. Yoga is a Vedic science, and it's a practice. And the idea of yoga is union, so connecting your little self with your big self, whether that is your physical body with whatever spirit you identify with, or maybe you don't identify with a spirit, and it's just the connection within, connecting your mind and your body. But the whole purpose is that we're trying to yoke, we're trying to put these things together, and everybody can do that. And because it's an individual practice, our yoga allows you to come as you are, bringing your full self. And you know, at Love Yoga, we're not gonna tell someone they can't practice because of a certain religion or belief system that they have, because the idea is that whatever you bring to the mat is what you bring to the mat, and that's your practice. And as you go along your yoga journey, you may learn more yoga history, you may learn more of the philosophies behind a yogic practice, whether that be just the physical or even within your nutrition and diet, or even within your way of being with people. But yoga is for everyone, and I think as I've been around the yoga community, I think when we add that diversity piece in, that's when we get a true value and experience within it.
Thank you for that. We've got a little time before we head to break. And then, like I said, we're going to come back and get started with some motion. But what would you say is the Love Yoga experience in a few quick words? Like if you have one statement, what's the Love Yoga experience?
Love Yoga is the place where all are welcome.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, we have more with Asia, and we're taking it to the mat right after this.
Be afraid, no. I gotta say what I mean and I won't say, yeah. Gotta do it my
Families come in all sizes and shapes. Sometimes your friends are your family by choice, or sometimes you're just stuck with Uncle Charles. But what we know is that you want to protect the people that are close to you. But the flu can unravel everything. Your flu vaccine protects you and your family. No matter what draws your family together, protect yourself, protect your family. Everyone needs a flu vaccine.
Can be afraid, no. I gotta say what I mean and I won't say, yeah. Gotta do it my
Welcome back. We're getting prepared for Asia to lead us through a demonstration. Joining us on the set is my good friend Evelyn, who's a regular at Love Yoga. Hey, girl. Evelyn's going to be one of our yoga models, and I'm going to try to be the other as we flow through a light practice. So make some space at home, grab your mat, or if you just have the carpet, just clear some things out and join us. Asia, take it away.
All right, great. Well, we're going to begin in a seated cross-leg position. So you can bring your hips to a blanket or to the blocks if you have blocks, or even a pillow if you're at home. The idea is that we want to come to a place where our hips are higher than our knees, or at least at the same height as our knees, so we can begin to passively open here and make some space. And we'll start with a grounding, allowing the hands to come to the knees. Maybe the palms are face down, or maybe the palms are face up. And you can lower your gaze or close your eyes as you come into your breath, starting to deepen the way that you're breathing here. So we're moving from a natural breath into a deeper breath. And you can use counts. Maybe you inhale for 3 counts and exhale for 4. Or maybe you inhale for 4, exhale for 5. Always trying to exhale just a little longer than when you inhale. And when you're ready, gently bring the hands to heart center, fingertips touching, palms pressed in together. This is Anjali Mudra. We're allowing this mudra to help us center ourselves, bringing reverence to our practice, reverence to ourselves. And this is a great time to set an intention or dedication. So for our little mini practice, maybe there's an affirmation, starting with I am or I will that you like to repeat to yourself as we hold a few poses. And from here, we'll come into Om. So let's start as we take a deep breath in. When you're ready, you can release your hands, lifting your gaze. And we're just gonna start to inhale the arms overhead as we connect our movement with our breath. And as you exhale, pull the hands down. Going through this a couple more times. And simply follow the path of your own breath. So you can move as fast or slow as you would like. There is no rush. And whenever you are finished, just let those hands come back down to the knees. Very nice. So this is our easy pose. This is a pose that you can take whenever you need to feel grounded, whenever you need a chance to come into yourself. Another great pose for this is our child's pose. So let's make our way onto our hands and knees. You can remove the blanket or the block if it's behind you. And we're gonna start by pulling the knees together, pulling the feet together, and just gently sending your hips back towards your heels. And at the same time, we'll stretch the arms forward, pulling the forehead down to the mat. Very nice. So this is a nice active pose where you can relax. And the reason why it is still an active pose is because the hips are being pulled down to the heels at the same time that you're finding that stretch in the shoulders, stretching the hands towards the top of the mat. And still breathing deeply and fully. So maybe you're inhaling for 3 counts and exhaling for 4. Maybe you come back to your intention or your dedication for your practice. On your next inhale, go ahead and come back up to our seated position here. And we're just gonna take some twists. So twists can be really great to detoxify, to wring out some of those things that we don't need. And if this is intense in the knees, you can take your block or your pillow between the legs and just gently sit on that block. So there's always a way to modify to make the pose work for you. Yes. And on your inhale, let's float the arms overhead. And as you exhale, bring the arms down over towards the left side. Inhale, arms come up. And exhale over to the right. And so this is something that you can do as many times as you want, depending on what feels good for your body. And just like at the beginning, we're always allowing our breath to initiate the movement and only going as fast or slow as we're breathing. Very nice. And now let's bring ourselves back to our tabletop here. Opening the knees the width of the mat, wrists right under the shoulders.
And as you flow through for us, Asia, we're going to wrap up because that's time. But you'll be able to continue this flow with Asia at Love Yoga. We're going to have the information on the website. We're going to keep practicing. But until next time, namaste.
Inhaling the chest down.
I gotta say what I mean and I
Exhale,
won't
pull the
say.
navel to the spine.
Yeah, gotta do
Flowing
it
through
my